Hello viewers, welcome to yet another exciting episode. In our previous video, we were able to look at what final circuits are, and we looked at the IE regulations concerning or regarding different final circuits, and I was able to explain each and every point in regard with what final circuits are. In our today's episode, I want us to get deep into final circuits, and I would want us to move one-on-one and explain each and every final circuit, their IE regulations, and their connectivity. So today I want us to start with lighting circuit, and I'm going to teach that lighting circuit in 2 episodes. In our first episode, we are going to look at the IE regulations and the methods of connection of the lighting circuits. So a lighting circuit is a circuit from the distribution board with an intention of feeding a lighting load or a luminaire. Luminaire is just a lighting source. These are IE regulations that are required when doing an installation in a lighting circuit. Number 1, the minimum cable size for lighting circuit should be 1.0 or 1.5, and this is to ensure that when the cable is drawing current, that it is drawing at minimum voltage drop. We're going to look at the procedure of selecting cables, and we'll see how the size of cable affects the voltage drop. The other IE regulation regarding lighting circuit is that if you are to do installation using a ceiling rose, then you should ensure that your ceiling rose is earthed. So there should be an earth conductor in your ceiling rose. Number 3, if it is required that all switch gears are connected at the phase conductor or the live conductor, and when you're installing your lighting circuit, it's only that the phase conductor that should move to the switch. Commonly, the best practice is that the phase conductor from the supply should move to the common terminal of the switch. Then the load part of the switch, because switch has 2 terminals, it is a one-way switch, it has 2 terminals. One terminal is the supply terminal, which we are calling common, and the other terminal is the load terminal, which should move to the load. If you are using 2-way switches, then the first common acts as the supply terminal, and the common terminal of the next switch acts as the load terminal for the light. And even when you are using a 3-way switching system or 4-way switching system, where you are using 2-way switches and intermediate switches, the common terminal for the first 2-way switch is the one which acts as the supply terminal, and the last terminal at the 2-way switch, which is the common terminal, acts as the load. So another IE regulation, the 4th one, is that the fuse rating for the switch gear, which is acting as a means of excess current protection, the ideal size should be 6 amperes, but practically we use 5 amperes because that is what most of the manufacturers manufacture. So those are the IE regulations that should be observed when you are doing a lighting circuit. So we have 3 main ways of 3 most commonly used way of connecting lighting circuit. The first way is by use of we call it looping method. Looping method is where the common of the first switch or the supply part of the first switch supplies the second lamp, becomes the supply of the second lamp. That's what you call a looping method. I'm going to give you examples. I know you have seen these types of switches, the many gang switches, the 2 gang switches, 3 gang switches, 4 gang switches. So a 4-gang switch has 4 switches in one casing. So if we are to connect a 4-gang switch, then we have said that supply must run from the distribution board to the switch. So we'll have a supply running from the distribution board to the first common. So we don't need to have 4 supplies running from the distribution board to the switch. After we have connected supply to the first switch, we can loop our the supply of the second switch of the first switch to the second switch, then the supply of the second switch to the third switch, that way up to the last switch, because they are within the same casing. That is what we call looping connection. Another way is by use of 2-plate seal in rows. A 2-plate seal in rows has only a place for connecting the lamp, the phase or the live and the neutral of the lamp, and probably the phase and the neutral of the next lamp. But there are no places of connecting there's no place for connecting the supply of the next switch. So it means that the connection that we are going to take to the first switch will be looped to the connection that we are going to take to the second switch of the second lamp, and that's how looping method is connected. Okay, the second method of connection of lighting circuits is by use of 3-plate seal in rows. A 3-plate seal in rows has 3 plates, or just 3 terminal blocks, and an additional block for earth. We will look at IE regulation, and one of the IE regulation is that all seal in rows should have earth terminal, and those earth terminals should be connected with the earth conductor. And we are going to look at the reasons as we continue. So the connections are done this way in the 3-plate seal in rows. The 3 conductors that originate from the distribution board, the live conductor, the neutral conductor, and the earth conductor, we know that that conductor will be connected to the earth terminal. So the live and the neutral conductor, the live conductor is going to be connected at the loop terminal block, which is usually at the center of the seal in rows, and the neutral conductor is going to be connected at the most right terminal block of the seal in rows. Then the conductors that are originating from the switch, we know that a switch only carries phase conductors. So one conductor from the switch, which is connected to the supply terminal or the common terminal of the switch, is going to be connected at the loop, and the other conductor will be connected to the block that has been connected nothing up to now. That's why we are going to connect the next conductor from the switch. Then now to the lamp, the conductors that are coming from the lamp, one will be connected, the neutral one will be connected at the neutral block, the one where we have connected other neutrals, and the phase conductor will be connected to the block where we have connected the other part of the switch, not the loop one, the one at the right hand side. That's why we are going to connect our live from the lamp, and that's how we connect a 3-plate seal in rows. The next method that we use in lighting circuit is by use of a joint box or a junction box. So this is how we do connection at the joint box. The cables from the supply, we know that supply comes with live, neutral, and earth to the joint box. So the neutral from the supply is joined to the neutral to the lamp, and the neutral which is supposed to supply the other lights or the other lamp. So we have those three connections. If we only supply in one lamp, then we'll only have the neutral from the supply and the neutral to that lamp. Then they are joined together and fixed in one of the terminal block if your joint box has a terminal block, all insulated if your joint box doesn't have terminal blocks. Then the live terminal from the supply is joined with the live terminal to the common part of the switch, and also joined to the terminal that is going to supply the next lamp. So we have those three cables joined together and maybe terminated in one of the blocks if the joint box has a block, all insulated. So we have set one cable from the supply, the other one to the common part of the switch, and the other one to supply the next lamp. Then the last part is the terminal to the lamp and the terminal to the load part of the switch. We have said that switch has two terminals, where one is the supply terminal, the other one is the load terminal. The supply terminal is the one commonly known as common, and the load terminal is written L in many circuits, or in many switches. So that's how we do connection at the joint box. Then after you have done all your connections and terminated them to the terminal blocks, or insulated them, a joint box has a lid. So you make sure that you close the joint box with its lid, and the circuit is well connected. Thank you for listening to me. For today we are only going to look at the methods of connection of the lighting circuits. In the next episode we are going to look at the types of lighting circuit. Let's meet in the next episode.